Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Grimworks Comic Corner. It's talk about everything comics, pretty much. Sometimes we bring in news, but we usually bring the stuff that we read this week. Trade back we try to give you, and then the comics that come out for tomorrow.
Yeah.
We usually like to start with some quick honorable mentions. They're good reads, but not enough to go into deep detail. And we're gonna start with Flash.
That's right. It is Flash number 32, written by Joshua Williamson and drawn by Christian Deuce.
Christian Deuce.
Yeah.
What a name.
The Deuce.
The Deuce. It was a good comic. Flash is trying to get a hold of his control over his negative powers.
Yeah.
And he teamed up with young Wally West.
Yeah.
And they're just in, the prison.
It is not Belle Reve, it is Iron Heights Prison.
Iron Heights. And he's the new lab dude from there. So he's using the prison to kind of, get control of everything.
Yeah, after the fallout of Bloodwork, he has to be there. And they're finding out that it's a little more corrupt than they would like it. But that's pretty much it. Him and his, his CSI partner there.
Oh, yeah, that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name. But next up, we have Ragman number 1, written by Ray Fox and drawn by Anika Miranda.
Alright, guys, you know how it's October and usually releasing some of the monster stuff. This is what Ragman is. It is the Mummy meets a war hero, pretty much.
Basically, think of the new Mummy movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much the same thing.
Other than the rags take control of the war hero.
Yeah.
And
the rags, for some reason, are have trapped his crew that was with him.
The life essence.
Yeah. Crew. So they guide him, and he's thinking he's just crazy, kind of things like that.
Yeah, because they had the whole classic blank stuff. He doesn't know how he made it back to home from America, and he doesn't know anything happened, so he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's a good first issue. I like the character, so I'm going to keep reading it.
It's okay.
Yeah, it was good.
But next up, we have The Falcon number 1, written by Rodney Barnes and drawn by Joshua Quesada.
Alright, so the Falcon is back in his Falcon digs. He's no longer Captain America.
No.
And he went
Unless
back.
you read Legacy, then he's in his Captain Diggs. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, in this one, he goes back home.
Yeah.
He finds out that his neighborhood is corrupted, and it seems more greedy, more gangster.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Basically, what he's trying to do is just improve his community, because when you're a superhero like Captain America, you have to think about the world. He's not really doing that so much. He's more back to his roots. He's a community hero.
A community hero, city hero,
Yeah, and he's just trying to get these two. I guess something like the Lion King, like the Crips or something.
Yeah.
He's trying to make them have a peace, and when that happens, something else goes awry. He also has a new partner, one that I've never really heard about, but then again, I haven't really. Yeah, the Patriot. I haven't known too much really about the Marvel universe lately, so I can't say when he actually came.
I think he's just relatable. He's a soldier that I got hands or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Falcon too.
Then the bad guy is actually pretty cool in the last page.
Yeah, it's a throwback to Ghost Rider, maybe.
Yeah, Ghost Rider, Marvel's Capcom 2 games.
Yeah, if you know those, you should know what we're talking about. But next up, and our last for honorable mentions, is Action Comics 989, written by Dan Jurgens and drawn by Victor Bogdanovic. I actually said that right. That's cool.
This is just a continuum of the let's get to know Mr. Oz, and it's just him and Superman just getting to know each other. Well, I don't know if you guys if you guys read who Oz is, you kind of figure out who it is now.
I mean, I think we should maybe say something because it's already the third one, and if you haven't read it by now, you're kind of fucking up. So, what I am going to say is 3, 2, 1. Quick spoilers. Oz is actually Jor-El, so Superman's dad from Krypton. Somehow he survived. It's explained in the previous issue how he survived, and this time he's actually gunning to take Superman away from Earth. He thinks that Earth is unworthy, of course, and there's a specific way in which he's trying to get Superman, which is, I just think, really cool. I want to see how that turns out. So it is really interesting. Just not enough meat on the bones just yet. I kind of want to see what the next issue is, and maybe we'll talk about it more then.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's it for our honorable mentions. Next, it's our actual reviews. And first up, we have Deadpool 289. It is written by Gary Duggan and drawn by Scott Koblish.
It's not just Deadpool 289. It's the Despicable Deadpool 289.
But that's the one thing that I'm thinking of. Well, that's the thing is like it's just it could be Despicable, and that's what I'm actually gonna look up right now because it has a legacy number. There's no way that the Despicable Deadpool would be.
I think it's just the title they give him for this one because what happens is Deadpool stopped being so nice. Like because of his fandom and stuff, they started writing Deadpool as just a wacky mercenary, but he eventually was doing shit for good. Like his conscience was kind of pointing him to be a hero. On this one, he goes back to being greedy, kill 'em all Deadpool, and I like it. I like it because they finally put him up against Cable. If you guys don't know, him and Cable have been in the odds before.
Yeah.
And even Cable was like, "Why are you after me again?" And he goes in bad against him, like full blown action.
Yeah.
There's even some kind of missing limbs goes awry, and he's like has every single because he knows Cable so much. He knows how to get rid of him, and it's so cool.
Yeah, and it's not a bad comic. I have my doubts just because of Deadpool. I've always had my doubts with Deadpool, but
I agree. I mean, they have been writing them really.
They have
either goofy or really bad,
and it kind of spills into like the way that his whole comic is. Like, my only problem with this is like the surrounding characters, and I'm talking about Deadpool. I'm talking about regular Joes that are in the comic book. They're so like wacky, and there's no reason for them to be wacky.
Yeah.
If Deadpool is like coming in with guns and swords drawn, they wouldn't be like, oh my Thor. And I was like, that kind of took me out of it like immediately.
I mean, true, but the thing is, I agree with you. They're trying too hard to break that fourth wall.
Yes.
When it's such a good like action.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there can't be comedy in there because of course he's gonna be comedic himself.
You could tell they're trying too hard.
Exactly. Keep the world around him the way that it would actually be, and have him be the zany character, and it would actually work a lot better.
Instead of
not saying it's not a bad comic. I always shit on Deadpool, but it's not a bad comic, and I'm interested because I honestly like Cable. I liked him in Marvel's Capcom 2, the video game. I liked playing him there, so I like it.
He's a good character. He's a good character, and he wants to find out why Deadpool's after, because they don't really say why Deadpool's after him.
Yeah, somebody's pulling the strings, and we don't know who.
And it's really good. It's action packed, and you kind of want to read the second issue.
Yeah.
And again, it's like a more deadlier Deadpool, but you have to. It's still Deadpool.
Yeah.
It's still new Deadpool. It's the whole wackiness and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so good you can get around it.
Yeah. It's just a little sticking points, but nothing to worry about. But next up, we have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, number 30, written by Rob Venditti and drawn by Patrick Zitcher.
This one caught me off guard. I didn't expect, like, when I started reading, be like, oh, okay, it's whatever. But I started flipping pages, and I was like, oh, man, this is getting really good. And it goes back to the whole action meets mind games. Because it's not much of a spoiler, but Hal Jordan starts fighting Superman.
Yeah.
Because Superman stopped Parallax from coming and taking over the Earth, or doing the evil he does.
Basically, and it was touched upon in the Superman comic. Not action comics, but Superman.
Okay.
It was kind of touched in there where these kids are going missing in Metropolis, and it turns out it's because of Parallax. But they're kind of weaving in those two, and they're actually coming together in this one. So it's pretty cool. If you were reading Superman, there's like a little bit of Green Lantern in there, and vice versa. So the whole thing about it is you don't know what's actually true or not, and that's what makes this comic good. Is because you don't know. There's panels with Parallax and there's panels with Superman, and it's playing with Hal Jordan's head, and it's not necessarily said like, oh, this is what's really happening. Robert Venditti's kind of like letting it go and be like, I'm just gonna let the story go where it goes.
He's messing with you guys to find out, is it not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
And the best thing I like about this, you could rate how strong these guys are, because Hal Jordan's giving all his will to it, because he knows he wants to stop Parallax but not kill Superman.
Yeah.
So they try to hold back, but then Superman like fights him. He's like, huh. It's good. It's a good fight scene.
Yeah, it is. He punches him so hard he doesn't know where he is.
Yo.
But yeah, next up we have Mr. Miracle number 3, written by Tom King and drawn by Mitch Gerads.
Mr. Man, this is good. It's getting really, really dark.
It was already dark and it's getting like.
I mean, it's getting really darker.
It's going into a dark multiverse.
Makes you want to, put on black eyeliner and listen to My Chemical Romance and be like,
the world. That's not dark, bro.
There's no sun in this world.
Maybe the Black Parade album. That was pretty dark. I like that one, Black Parade. But if you fucking don't like it, fight me. But
the thing is, it just looks like Mr. Miracle's tired. He doesn't. Yeah. He looks tired. He doesn't really know what's going on, and
that's kind of like the way you read this comic. Like, it really puts you in the kind of mental state of like Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
He kind of doesn't even know what's going on. Like, there's so many things that he's like, but I don't remember this, and I remember this. Like,
it's an after effect of him trying to kill himself.
Exactly, and that's kind of the thing where it's just like, it's really good in terms of like putting you in the mindset of what Mr. Miracle is feeling, and you don't even know what's going on. But I'm sure things are gonna start coming together. This is issue 3, and it's still showing you how much of an asshole Ryan is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, such a dickhead.
He's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And it just shows that him and Big Bar are human.
Yeah.
Like in this one, you catch you saying that, okay, they're just regular people. And the thing is, I usually complain about the art, and this time the art's starting to come to me like the way he's seeing the world.
Exactly. There's a reason for the art.
Because they're starting to clear up some of the panels where it's just solid like comic, but the stuff when he's by himself or people come and visit him and he doesn't really know what's going on, if you have that 3D blur, like
kind of a blur where it's like multiple color.
Then when he goes out with Big Barda and stuff, it's just regular comics. So I'm trying to get, and the violence is really good in this one. And I want to see what he does. I want to see if he would stand against Orion. What happened to Darkseid, and they're gonna show any of that.
Yeah,
it shows how strong he really is.
Yes.
Because he keeps saying, "I am not a hero."
Yeah.
And I'm not a magician. I'm an escape artist, and I don't know what that means when he has to fight a natural villain.
Yeah. So, and that's the whole thing. Is like, is there a villain? Is it internal? Is it external? What is going on? And it's really, like I said, it's putting you in that kind of mood when you read the comic. But I think, and I it's funny.
I would hate this at the end of this run if it's just his limbo, that he didn't really escape like death.
But that could be it. And
I would hate that. Well,
here's the thing. That could maybe be like issue 6 or something, and he has to find now his way out of a limbo.
And that's his true escape.
Exactly. So you never know. And that's kind of like the genius behind this comic. You don't know what's going on, but he gives you just enough. And I'm sure if you actually... It's going to be one of these comics where you're going to have to reread all 12 issues once they're out, and you're going to get all the little clues leading up until the big reveal.
I would hate it was like him in the coma from trying to kill himself.
Oh, baby, I love it. I would be like... Give me more of that.
Yes. If he just wakes up in Highfather and Orion's just like on his bedside with Barton, just like... Don't do that again. And he's like, what? Yeah. And you just see him like in bandage and shit. I was like, oh man, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's meaning to that. That's the thing. It's like, even if it's that, there's gonna be meaning to it.
It just reminds me of those mystery thriller movies that you're like, oh man, it's a dream, but you're like, it could be reality. And then at the end,
it's like The Matrix.
Then I hate comics like this. You have to read the whole comics to get the whole story.
What's up?
But I'm in it. This is the third comic. This is the third time we put it on our list of must reads.
Yeah.
So I guess they're doing something good.
Yes, they are.
All right, but that's gonna be
the regular
stuff that you gotta read. Then we're gonna start going into our pick of the weeks, and first off, it's Mr. Romance.
That's right. My pick of the week. If you could see it right there, my little swamp thing. My pick of the week is Dark Knight's Metal #3, written by Scott Snyder and drawn by Greg Capullo. It's giving me what I want. It actually shows you what Barbados looks like, and you can probably see him on the cover. He's right there. But oh man, exactly. It took me to a place where I completely forgot about that, because what they do with Superman is so simple, and they've done it. Other villains have done it before, but they've never done it on this scale. And I'm super excited for everything that goes on in this.
What are you talking about?
Okay, well, you want
No, spoilers.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, they're gonna use Batman as a battery so they can turn the whole universe inside out.
Yeah, I know that, but you said Superman.
Yeah, Superman is the battery.
Oh, okay, I heard Batman. I'm sorry, but I was like,
no, Batman's trapped there.
Yeah.
They go into this whole.
He was the bait to get. I was like, this is all Batman.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of number one, all the time, it's all Batman. And then you start reading part 3, and turns out that the one they're really after is Mr. Boy Scout himself, Mr. Anti-Kryptonite.
That's right, Mr. Clark Kent. Now, the whole thing is, like, it's feeding back into a big theory that happened even with the first Crisis on Infinite Earths. It was from 88, 86, somewhere around there. The whole thing is, like, the universes are separated by vibrational frequencies. That's how the Flash can go from one universe to the other, but he has no control over it. It's because of vibration. Another thing that vibrations do is sound and music and things like that. So music is the key to everything. And that's the whole thing. It opens up with the power of rock, I guess you could say. So cheesy, but so good.
Yeah.
Like, just something super simple. And you're like, oh, okay. And then there's like a code. It turns out that, like, the Trinity have a code.
That's the thing I like, that when you think of DC, you think of the Justice League, right? And how they're a tight-knit group, because, you know, Batman kind of keeps them together. But it turns out that off the original, was it 7?
Yeah.
The Justice League, that the original Trinity, it's Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, because they're supposed to be the strongest beings on Earth, have a secret code that even the other ones don't know.
Exactly.
And they're like, what? You guys have the secret code? It's like, yeah, we do, and in case we're like an emergency, this is how we send messages.
Yes.
So it lets you in a little bit more into the Trinity. And turns out that, you know, stuff like Flash and shit don't really, they're not really in it.
Yeah, I mean, the Trinity is supposed to be the Trinity for a reason, you know what I mean? They are the leaders. Batman is the way, or Superman is the way, Batman is justice, and Wonder Woman is the heart. So, like, that's the whole thing, is, like, they all have a big role to play, and that's why the rest of the Justice League follow them. The thing is, like, what happens when the Trinity is wrong? What happens when the Trinity breaks? And how does that affect the universe? What happens in a moment of crisis when they can't help each other? So that's, like, the coolest thing about this comic. But, like, all this kind of things with all these different Batmans from different universes destroying Gotham and all this kind of stuff is happening. But in the core of it, it's 3 people that are supposed to be the biggest and the greatest superheroes, and they're crumbling because they don't know how to deal with this threat.
You see, you say big 3, but I haven't found Wonder Woman's role in this. Batman, they explain Batman's role. They already did it. They explain Superman's role, but Wonder Woman.
That's the thing. Again, they've only gone to those 2.
And then as you read this, that's one of the other things I didn't like. When you're reading this, it hints to comics that have yet to come out. Like when they're talking to Aquaman, they haven't released that one shot of where Mera gets taken over, and when they in the Doomsday one. Yeah. I was like, oh, where are these comics? And they're because
that's logistics.
If you guys been reading this, you know that Dr. Fate's been collecting heroes so he could, recuperate, reunite, and try to fight everybody off. Yeah. And of course, if you're reading this, you lose the 2 powerhouses. So how's the rest of the Justice League kind of fight everything back? Yep. But I was like, I'm reading it. I'm reading tie-ins. I'm reading one-shots and everything. This one seemed to be a little bit ahead how DC's releasing stuff.
Yeah, and I think there's a reason for that.
You think so?
Yeah, because I don't think, I mean, no company, DC or Marvel, when they do an event like this, is ever like, they're never behind, the cue ball. They're never behind it. They're always ahead of it. So that's the whole thing. Is like, there's a reason why they put out those 3 Batman issues first, and why they did those 4 tie-ins.
Because you get the whole
exactly
and stuff.
You're getting those. Now there's a reason why the Aquaman one and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, the rest that to come.
The rest of them, the Doomsday one, and I figure the Doomsday one is going to be one of the last ones, because of something else.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is like, there's a reason to it. They're referencing things. They're referencing things like Plastic Man, which that's going to be a comic that starts.
Plastic Man's egg, which is weird.
Exactly, but there's a reason for that, and that goes back. That goes back to Frank Miller's Dark Knight Strikes Again, which is the.
Yeah, I can't figure out, because I'm not a big DC dude.
Yeah.
I can't figure out Plastic Man's connection to metal.
There is a big connection. Yeah.
Alright.
And it's not necessarily. It wasn't in his original origin. They're gonna redo an origin a little bit into this, I assume.
Oh, that's right. Plastic Man's gonna be on the upcoming Earth, the Dakota one, isn't it? That's where it's coming out.
I'm not too sure. I think he might have his own one shot, if I'm not mistaken. Him and Hawkman, I think, is gonna have a one shot itself. So there's gonna be different one shots that do tie in as well.
And you know what little bits I like from this comic is that your Nightwing and Robin. How Nightwing is so cool and collected now.
Yeah.
That he knows that sometimes you gotta sacrifice something for the greater good, while Damian is still a little kid and he's like, I want my daddy.
And I wonder if this is leading to something that DC had wanted to do for fucking ever. If you don't know the original thing, there was Infinite Crisis, which was in 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. Maybe.
Is that the Superboy one?
That's a Superboy one.
Well, one of the best stuff.
It is. But did you know that Superboy wasn't supposed to be killed?
He isn't killed.
No. He in the last issue of Infinite Crisis, he dies.
No, he gets trapped, doesn't he?
No, he dies. He gets placed into the same thing as Superman, though. He gets placed into that Kryptonian
But they bring him back
chamber.
though.
That's what I'm saying.
They already brought him back.
No, well, here's the thing. Well, Infinite Crisis is before any of this. So it's pre-52 and pre-Rebirth.
Infinite Crisis,
because that's from 2006.
Yeah, I know that.
Even before.
Yeah, but I remember the Superboy got referenced again because I guess he's tied into a lot of things.
Yeah, now
the Crisis.
Yeah, now he is.
Yeah,
but that's the whole thing.
I remember an issue where they brought him back.
That was during Final Crisis.
Was it with Final Crisis?
During Final Crisis, they brought him and Bart Allen back. But the whole thing is, in the original Infinite Crisis in 2006, I believe. I want to say 2006. He died. The original plan was Nightwing was supposed to die. He was supposed to die in 2006, and to my knowledge, they never planned to bring him back after that. But DC at the time got cold feet, and they said you can't kill Nightwing. And they Jeff Johns had to rewrite that ending and make it Superboy.
I mean, they already killed all his other Robins, so why not him?
I mean, that's the thing. Is like,
it's Jason Todd's gone.
It's kind of that thing with
even Damian died.
Exactly, and that's the thing is like there's no sacred cows anymore, because in Marvel their sacred cow was always Bucky. Like, you can't bring Bucky back; he's dead. For 25 fucking years, they said, or even fucking more, they said he's dead. Like, you can't bring him back. You can never bring Bucky Barnes back. And guess what? He's back. He's a Winter Soldier. Now he's his own thing.
They said that about Wolverine, and Wolverine's back.
Exactly. So I think honestly, DC Metal, the whole sacrifice might be Nightwing.
You think so?
I'm calling it right now. That might be one of the things.
I think it might actually be Bruce Wayne.
We'll see.
Like, he's gonna completely, because the whole Doomsday and the beam of him, he didn't really die. Like, I don't know. It's weird to explain, but
he gets trapped in time.
Yeah. What I want, and I'm waiting for, they keep referencing the Rock.
The Rock of Eternity.
The Rock of Eternity. They keep referencing. I want to see some Shazam. Like Shazam would be great as a fucking rock and roll metal dude, and they keep referencing him, and I was like, where is he?
He can't be the rock and roll dude.
He can.
No, he's pure.
But that's the thing, though. I think he's gonna be the light that kind of, because they need something strong. Like Dr. Fate needs something strong. Since Superman and Batman are trapped, they need that strength.
It's possible.
And I want him to. They keep referencing The Rock, and I was like, come on, please give me some Shazam, because I'm a big Shazam dude. I was like, where the hell is he in all this?
We'll see.
He's like one of the strongest beings in the earth. Like he goes toe to toe with Superman, and then his magic kind of brings him over. But him being a kid, that's his weak. Anyways, they keep referencing The Rock, and I was like, come on, give me some Shazam sooner or later, because they already touched about everybody. Like anybody in DC has been either touched, poked, and but they just keep referencing damn Rock with no Shazam. Where my boy at? Where my boy at?
It's possible that he's being held back for another event that starts in November. So I'm not too sure.
I don't know, but it's good, guys. It's good.
We rambled on a bit, but
but that's what happens when you read a good comic. It makes you think of everything else that
it sparks conversation.
DC's done to kind of put it out together as a puzzle, because all these big events kind of go together as a puzzle and be like, oh, okay, this is the downfall from this and this is the downfall from that. I just want to see Shazam, but it's good. I mean, I'm picky on some of the stuff because I'll be like, okay, whatever, but it's good.
You're a bitch.
But my pick of the week, real quick,
is All New Wolverine number 25, written by Tom Taylor and drawn by Juan Cabal.
I'm gonna tell you guys why this is the pick of the week, for me at least, is that it made you think. Like when you read all the Claws, all the Wolverines and all that comics, you usually see them running around people, slashing, killing, going berserk, right? Losing control, and there's always casualties.
Yeah.
And you never think about those casualties.
Yeah.
And so in this one, it's like, you know what? The casualties are back. And it looks like they kidnapped Dagon, which I don't know if he's good, bad, or whatever.
I thought he was dead.
No, Dagon he has his own comic.
I don't know. I remember Wolverine drowning his own son. That's what I remember.
No, he was back. Yeah. I know he has his own comic. I haven't really kept up with Dagon, but like I said, I don't know if he was good, bad, or evil. But they something called the Orphans of X.
Yeah.
Kind of kidnapped him and chopped off his arm.
Yeah.
That's what it might be.
So much arm chopping, all these comics.
You would think it's like someone that regenerates. Anyway, so they leave the arm behind. So Laura, which I know that Laura had a clone. So they're a clone of a clone.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's getting deep into the whole Weapon X thing, the whole Wolverine family, and you start thinking, it was like, oh man, sometimes they don't think about the casualties that and the people they leave behind, and what happens if they actually kind of get a support group, be like, we're gonna do something about it.
Yeah.
And then it gives you more of Laura's story.
Yeah.
Which is really good. If you guys don't know...
last page is surprising.
Yeah. If you guys don't know X-23 or anything, this is a good place to jump in so you can know Laura and why she's Wolverine and all that. And then at the end, they'll give you a really good surprise. Be like, I wonder what they're going to do with that.
I wonder what they're going to do with that. I wonder what Wolverine, since he's back, since we know in Legacy he's back, maybe he's gonna play a part in all this.
So it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm interested.
I mean, it was good. It's a good, quick read. I mean, it's full with claws and it lets you know a little history. So
yeah,
you guys film the claws. You're gonna be a good. Well, that's gonna be
our picks of the week, and now we're going into our trade back, which we usually review a trade back that we do want to sell you. I don't know how I'm going to sell it, but it is Marvel Universe versus The Punisher. It's drawn by Jonathan Mayberry and it's actually written by Jonathan Mayberry and drawn by Gordon Tarlov.
All right, so you guys are like, you've been watching or you're just a new watcher. We try to bring you a trade back that we kind of are okay with, both of us trying to push it on you guys. And lately, with the whole Halloween spirit and the whole thing, I was like, we have to give them something that has, a little zombie touch and something like that. And this is actually one of my favorites because I'm a big Punisher fan, and it gives you Punisher versus everybody.
Okay, see, here's the thing. You already say this is one of your favorites.
It is one of my favorites.
It's garbage.
It's all right. This is what. Let me just set it up for you. All right. So Punisher.
Go ahead.
Punisher is doing what Punisher does, and he released a pathogen, a virus, that, and it gets out in the world that if it gets touched or it gets inhaled by people, it makes you a cannibal. So what do you do? You turn the world cannibals, and he, of course, he's immune to it because he's the Punisher. He's badass. So now he's seeing that he let out this evil, so he's trying to make up for it. By stopping the bad blood and killing everything off. But the thing is that everybody's affected. Even the heroes, villains, everybody. No one's safe from this pathogen. And you have this regular human with just weapons going against Venom, Deadpool, Spider-Man. How is he supposed to stop these dudes that are trying to eat him? So it just goes through that journey. And then, of course, there's a lot of guts, bloods, and action, and him, being like, all right, I gotta use my training, my weapon skills, everything that you could think of Punisher. He has to use it to get over these heroes and villains. It's just good. It's good. It's mind numbing. It's just, you shut everything off. You read it, and you have a zombie book.
Yeah.
You didn't like anything of it? No. Alright, guys. You like zombies, cannibals, and Punisher. You're like this.
It's just not particularly well written. The story's super generic for me, and they make Punisher again the one-note character that they always write. He's like, the only character development they give him is, I gotta clean up this mess, and guess what? Now I like it because I gotta kill everybody. That's what I'm good at. Bang, bang, bang.
See, but the thing is, it's popular enough where they keep making Versus series.
They keep making Versus series, but if you notice, they didn't make a second one.
It was just him and Deadpool. That's any Versus series.
They left it open for a second one, but guess what? It didn't sell well because the ending. I'm gonna tell you this right now. One of the things I hate is they keep saying. The cannibals or whatever are gonna say, I'm gonna suck the bone marrow from your bones, you watch. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this fucking super, it's just poorly written to me, to be honest with you. It's unimaginative in that point.
But then again, you don't like easy reads.
It's not even that, because I like the easy reads. The all new Wolverine that we just talked about. Easy read?
That's not actually really good. Easy.
It's an easy read.
It's giving you history. It's giving you setting up this mystery.
Very simple history. They set up her origin in one page in less than about 30 words. That is
2 pages. Then they had
it was one page because they show you.
Yeah, it was like 2 pages.
It's one page. I can guarantee you it's one page for her origin, and then they give one page for the sister. Her clone, and that's it. That's it. You get 2 pages and you do that. Here, what it is they give you, patient 0. He's been looking for patient 0. But what does patient 0 do? It doesn't do anything. Patient 0 is like, I can just kill patient 0. Cool. It doesn't fix the Marvel universe in any other way. Now, my problem with it, another thing is he makes a deal with Spider-Man, who is patient 0. Okay, that's fine. And then they leave it open for part 2 because the whole thing about it is that Spider-Man somehow, even though he's a cannibal, almost zombie, has a baby with Mary Jane and she's pregnant, and then Punisher just shoots him in the face. That's it.
There is a part 2 to this, and
there isn't a part 2. There was one that was like this, but it was from the 90s and it was written by Garth Ennis.
Was it?
Yes.
Then there's 2 parts of Deadpool versus the Mirror Universe.
There's 4 now.
No, that's Deadpool kills the one. There's a difference. There's a difference between versus and kills.
It's literally the same thing.
The thing is, the versus and kills are different kind of universes. Yeah, it has to have the versus to hold the cannibal stuff. And I remember there was. Alright, we're gonna pass that.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's just if you like Punisher, you like action, you like cannibals and zombies and heroes eating heroes and just guts and bloods, you're gonna like it. Yeah, alright, it's not big of a demand, but comics shouldn't be a big book. Sometimes comics should be like sit down and then just like wander off for like 10-15 minutes. 20 minutes you're gonna finish the whole book and you're gonna like it too.
I'm not shitting on people that like it. I'm shitting on the actual thing itself. If you like it, then that's fine. You like whatever you like. I'm not bad mouthing your taste. I'm bad mouthing this book because it's not well written. It's a lot of just things you've seen before, and I'm just done with it.
Things you see before, but this is one of the first ones.
Exactly. That's the thing. Is like I didn't read this. Maybe if I read it, first,
when it was coming out,
it would have been something. But I read it now, and I'm just sick of zombies and everything zombies. So
okay.
That's
you put it that same amount.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. But it became one of my good ones because it was one of the first ones I read. It was one of the one around when Marvel Zombies 1 was coming out, and I
don't like Marvel Zombies either.
Like back when this came out, you barely started seeing the whole where they showing shit going through people's skulls and the whole.
Oh, it's gory as hell.
This would have been like an explicit MA when it came out and shit like that.
Yeah.
Parent advisory. So that's why I like it.
Yeah.
Because I read it when it was coming out. But I could say now I get it. You're so over the whole cannibal zombie. One hero has to kill them all.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that. Okay,
but even
you read it at a wrong time.
Yeah, maybe if I read it, like you did originally,
Yeah.
it would have been like, oh, okay, it's a sentimental kind of thing, whatever. But as of right now, I'm just.
Or
done with
it
that
was a
kind of
different
stuff.
hero, because like you said,
I don't think so.
you already think Punisher's a one kind of character.
No, but that's the thing. They can make them more than a one note. Case in point, the new Punisher with Becky Cloonan writing it.
The original one?
No, just the new one, the Punisher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Even Greg Rucka had a good run with it, and so
Greg
did
Rucka
Rick
had
Remender.
one of the greatest runs.
Yeah, and then Rick Remender had another good run. That's the thing is like any character is good. You just have to have the right person to write it, and a lot of people choose not to write Punisher as a fully dimensional character. They make him as a one note. So that's my big problem with Punisher. It's not necessarily the character. It's a lot of the writers and how they handle it.
If you think of all the Marvel heroes, they're starting to become one notes because they already started separating them as their fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you read Spider-Man, there's like maybe 5-6 Spider-Man comics, and they're all the same. Same thing with Deadpool. There might be like 10 Deadpool.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying.
I'm just saying. It's just how Marvel's doing. Like DC, I understand now. DC, people was always like, I've been a Marvel head for a while because of the characters, but there was like DC is for comic readers because they're loyal to the fans. They give you that depth in characters and stuff. While Marvel is for the people either coming in or the ones there for the characters.
Yes.
You're not reading like a story, you're reading a character.
Exactly.
If you go in DC, you're reading a story. They're giving you events that you have to think about. Right? Like you could read like Civil War 2 and you could read what was that the last one that just happened that was so bad that we didn't read it.
Oh, Secret Empire.
Yeah.
Fucking garbage.
Crap like that you could read by itself and not care what has happened in the past.
Yeah.
But that's how Marvel is.
Yeah.
DC, you have to think about Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis. You have to remember that Flash was going through the signals of music and audio and all that stuff. That's a difference.
Yeah.
So this is a great Marvel book because it's all. If you like the Punisher, you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
Because they're giving you they're gonna give you Punisher to its limit. He uses every single weapon, even the shit that he picks up the ground to defeat these things.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna get a story be like, oh man, that was making me think and what ifs. No. This is what it is.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing between us is like I like things that like make me think. That's why I read a lot of things DC related, just because the stories seem a little more involved. But there's things from Marvel that I do like. This just happens to be one of them that I'm not too crazy about.
The difference is that I like characters.
Oh.
And DC's characters I really don't like, other than the Joker. And I'm almost up there where I'm getting tired of Joker being written so weirdly and badly, and he's in everything, and none of it is like a straight line. Like in one comic, he's over here, and then just Shazam's my other favorite, and he's yet to they never really give him a standalone comic, and he's never really written in anything with much depth. So I mean, like, okay, I'm gonna go over the stuff I like, and I could pick up anything that has Claws, anything that has the Punisher, anything that has Deadpool, enjoy it. It doesn't matter if it's mid arc, beginning arc, or end arc. They're gonna give me what I want, and that's Deadpool talking shit, breaking the fourth wall, Wolverine slicing and dicing, Punisher killing. They're gonna give me that, and that's why I choose what I choose, because I can't go buy 12 issues of DC to get the full story, then be like, that was good. I kind of want to get everything else.
Yeah, like the thing is, like I was trained that way,
Yeah.
kind of through my the way that I learned how to read comic books. That's the way I was kind of trained to do it. So, and the whole thing is like, there's very, 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 very good writers at Marvel. The thing is, I think Marvel is going through this period of like, hey, the movies are doing really well. Let's really focus on that kind of storytelling.
Well, Marvel's always been like, let's get the money.
Exactly, and that's what's kind of pushing me away from Marvel, because there's great writers and there is some fantastic characters in Marvel that I absolutely love. It's just they're pushing me away with some of the stuff that they're doing.
That's the way I explain it. DC is like, let's keep our fans. They're very good fans. If new ones want to come in, let them catch up.
Yep.
It's their fans' job. If they like character, do your history. Marvel, on the other way, is like, whatever, fans. You guys leave, guess what?
Marvel is trying to like, hey, let's get as many people as we can, so let's put in these previously pages so that they don't have to like bother with all the issues beforehand. They can just read that little few paragraphs in the first page. They're caught up and they can read. They can go from
the conversation we had the other day, be like, Marvel's like that. We're like, if a fan goes, why are you doing this? Doesn't matter. We're Marvel. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna read Marvel no more. Guess what? Doesn't matter, because when one fan leaves, 4 of them come in.
Exactly.
They'd rather have that 4 than the one that left. And DC be like, oh, you want some answers? We got you.
Exactly.
And it's like, and then the new dudes be like, oh, we don't understand where you're going. Do your homework.
Yeah, exactly. And just like me, I was a fucking nerd. I like doing research and shit like that. So yeah, of course. But here's like my last thing I'll say about Marvel. My buddy Nate, you could probably hear him on the City podcast if you listen to one of our podcasts. It comes out on Mondays. He was the biggest Marvel guy I had ever known. He bought every Marvel comic, didn't matter. He saw the good in a lot of them that I didn't, and he still kept reading them. He is down to one comic for Marvel, and that's it. He's down to Amazing Spider-Man because he's like, I don't like any of the other ones. So he's done with them. But
we ramble away from the truth. All right, trade book, you like it. All right, but that's gonna be it. We have to get to tomorrow's. Man, that went from supposed to be like 2 minutes, just like I like it, you hate it. It kind of sparks conversation.
Again, a comic will spark conversation.
All right, but
maybe a good comic.
There you go.
Maybe I'm in the wrong. But we're going to get into our new releases that come off tomorrow. And we're going to kick it off with Marvel. So starting off, all new Guardians of the Galaxy number 12. Black Panther Prelude number 1, which is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Cable 150, which is apparently going to go back to Legacy. Champions number 13.
Is that tied in with the Deadpool?
Let's see. The Newer Mutants. Apparently not.
Oh, okay, no.
Yeah, apparently he's getting back a new. Yeah, he's just gathering a new group of new mutants, basically. Alright, Champions number 13, Deadpool versus Old Man Logan number 1.
You know that has me written all over it.
That's Declan Shelvey. He was a really good artist. I don't know how he is as a writer. Doctor Strange number 26. Generation X number 7, Incredible Hulk 709, Return to Planet Hulk.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently it's going to be that Amadeus Cho going back to the Hulk
I know they
planet.
were doing that whole round of the new Hulk, Hulk / Wolverine, right?
I have no idea.
There's a new character that came out.
But, okay. Incredible Hulk 709. Then we have Invincible Iron Man 593, The Search for Tony Stark, which I will most likely get. Journey, Star Wars Last Jedi, Captain Phasma number 4. Luke Cage 166, Mighty Thor 700, which apparently starts the death of the Mighty Thor number 1.
Oh, the girl's finally gonna give in, huh?
So Monsters Unleashed number 7, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man number 5, Secret Warriors number 7, Spider-Gwen number 25, Star Wars Poe Dameron number 20, Venom 156. I thought that would be 157. Anyways, X-Men Gold number 14. That's going to wrap up Marvel. And going on to DC. Started off Aquaman number 29, Astro City number 28, Batman number 33, which apparently they ended that Riddles thing. So maybe we might want to pick that up. But Batman the Drowned number 1.
Oh, that's the Mara one.
That is the Mara one.
Cool.
And then they're doing a second print for the Red Death as well, if you missed that. Batwoman number 8, Bombshells United number 4, Future Quest Showcase number 3, Green Arrow number 33, Green Lanterns number 33, Harley Quinn number 30, Injustice 2 number 12, Justice League number 31, which is the Legacy finale.
Nice.
You can get a third printing of Miracle Man number 1, a second printing of Miracle Man number 2, Nightwing number 31, Super Sons number 9, Superman number 33, Titans number 16. It's called Death Race. I'm in. Trinity number 14, Wildstorm number 8, and Wonder Woman Conan number 2.
That's going to be the list for your big 2. Alright, so what we do here is that there's a lot of indies. A shitload of indies. And you guys see my taste of comics. So he does is he looks through the whole list and he picks up things that people either sound interesting, should be reading, or they're just the classic indies. So let's get to the list.
Alright, so indies. Curse Words number 9, Descendants number 25, Invader Zim number 24, Kid Lobotomy number 1. It sounds interesting. Killer Be Killed number 13, Lumberjanes number 43, Madman number 2, Maestros number 1, which I put on there because it looks kind of magic-y. That's what you like that.
I like the magic stuff.
Yeah. And Rick and Morty Pocket Like You Stole It number 4. That could be, actually I got that wrong. Rick and Morty. Where the hell is M's? It actually is number 4. I thought that series is a lot farther along, but number 4.
I think it's one of those that there's a lot of Rick and Mortys.
Yeah.
So the subtitles is the ones that.
Yeah. I think I've messed up on that. But my apologies. Riverdale number 7, Rugrats number 1.
Yeah, Chuck is back.
And Savage Dragon number 227 starts a new arc where he's in Canada, eh? And then I put in this one because I thought it would be right up your alley. Sherlock Frankenstein and the Legion of Evil number 1.
Perfect for Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm a big Frankenstein fan. I'm a big fan of a couple of things. But I like what I likes.
You do.
Alright guys, that's going to be the list for you guys comics tomorrow. Tell us when you pick us up. Tell us the stuff you've read. Tell us if you've read this one, you actually think you agree with me or you agree with him. Is it good? Is it bad? Let us know in the comments, where to go, YouTube. Just search out Grainworks. Put them in the comments. And you could always follow us on all social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search out Grainworks. You're going to see our ugly mugs or the stuff that we bring out. You can be part of the conversation. You can follow everything that we do. Not a fan of leaving comments? You can always drop an email. Roman, what's the email?
citypod88@gmail.com, and in the title, put comics.
Yeah, just, show us love, and we'll show you love back.
Yeah.
And, guys...
Speaking of love.
I've been playing some Marvel's Capcom. Yeah, if you guys haven't gotten it, you should get it. It's fun, it's quirky, but damn, it's a lot of blood and pressings. And, when you're playing, you're all
high-intensity situations, you get sweaty.
You don't want that. You don't want your stuff getting all sweaty and grimy. So what you do is you go to FateGrips.store.
Yeah, FateGrips.store, and you can use our discount, which gives you 20%. That's nothing to sneeze at, people. Go ahead and use our discount code GRIMWORKS. That's capital GRIMMWORKS. And you can go ahead and save 20% on joystick controller, because I've been playing a lot of Destiny. Again, high pressure situations, my fingers get sweaty. They also have controller covers, which we affectionately call controller columns. They do have some banners if you want to rep them. They have some t-shirts. And like I said, one of the things that I always keep plugging, and I always keep plugging because I bought it and I loved it, was the mystery glow /pro pack. It gives you 4 different sets for about $10, and use our promotional code Grimworks, capital GRIMMWORKS.
Save some of that taxes.
Yeah, save some of that taxes and a little bit on that. Little bit on that shit.
We'll save some, guys.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, it kind of helps us out.
It does. It helps us out a lot. It helps pay for things like, you know, these cool posters so we can get better stuff.
Oh yeah, guys! If any of you watching this are a local artist here in the, you know, we're recording from San Antonio, Texas. We're starting up a artist wall. We're gonna start moving shit around to make it more, you know, pretty for you guys and stuff. But man, I'm a big fan of art. I like anything I talk about. I'll be like, okay, art. So what I want to do is have a wall of local artists. And if you see here, we're just starting. We have some people that work at comic shops and really good artists.
Yeah, friend of mine, D. Noonan. Friend over there, Rick Pastrano.
This print right here is made by that dude who does the Toy Corner stuff with us, named Mikey. Guy up there did the bat that laughs, which is one of my favorite ones, because I know it's gonna be the Joker. When it gets to it, it's gonna be awesome.
Maybe.
But you have, you know, just showing love to the artists. You gotta start locally. You know, and you gotta give it. So if you guys want your art back there, just let them know in the comment. We'll meet up at Heroes or something. We'll pick up a print from you or some kind of drawing. But that's gonna come to the end of the show, guys.
All right.
And you know, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Later.